It started with Santa Claus crook invading houses and looting people as early as 3:37 a.m. Unfortunately, invaded Craig and Day Day's apartment and took their rent money. This led to another life torture for them both. This they battled with till late at night, when they later overcame Santa Claus crook and took back all and more from him with lots of money, which was also more than enough to pay their rent and enjoy Christmas as big boys. So funny. Another Friday went by, and another victory was won. Hooray! Still sleeping at the dawn of the day at 3:37 a.m. did a man who claimed to be Santa Claus as he dresses in a Santa Claus suit, invade Craig and Day Day's apartment to steal from them. Luckily for him, they already got lots of gift presents to give to family and friends for Christmas, and it was unfortunate for the two poor guys that they were all stolen from them, including Craig's CD collection, Day Day's baby picture, their speaker, and their rent money inclusive. So painful. Craig got alert to it. He tried all he could, but he was not able to overcome him. He cried for Day Day's attention, but he was fast asleep in the other room. Craig was hurt instead, and then the thief ran off. Craig angrily woke Day Day and Chico, the Joker brothers' dog, and that was how the day kicked off. They reported the case to the police. The policemen, Officer Brain Dix and Officer Alvin Hole, documented it and assured their feedback as soon as they could. At the sight of the police, Miss Purley, their landlady, dashed into their apartment to question the reasons for such and to also remind them of their house rent, which was the most painful part of the story. She threatened to allow her son Damon, who had just been released from prison, to deal with them if they failed to pay by the end of the day. This reminded Craig of his nightmare about Damon, how he cited that Craig and Day Day got his cloth starched. What a treat! With the fear of this in their hearts, they got crossed by Damon, and instantly they got soaked with fear and awe. He jokingly asked them for a friendly hug, but it turned out to be a life-taken one by the time they got crushed with his big chest and arms as he reminded them of the rent too. They both regretted hugging him and ran off to work. They hadn't any job still, but Mr. Jones, Craig's dad, already had a plan for them both. Theirs was to drive down to meet with him in his newly built restaurant. Yeah, Mr. Jones quit his dog hunting a year ago to collide with his brother as they opened a spot called Bros Bar BQ, with a naughty slogan, "Tastes so good, make you wanna slap your mama." Though Mr. Jones stupidly did slap his mum while saying the slogan in the shop. This landed her a sore face. So sad. In a nutshell, the spot is in the company of Mr. Jones, his wife, his mum, his brother Elroy, and waitress Cookie, me Elroy's new girlfriend. On getting to the shop, they, Craig and Day Day, saw a person dressed in Santa Claus attire and thought it was the one that stole from them. They both jumped to attack him. It was in this process that they got to know that it was Craig's dad. Oh, they were sorry. Mr. Jones, on the other hand, was dressed that way because he was preparing for the upcoming Christmas feast and the plan to host their guest in the shop. Craig and Day Day greeted everyone and had fun with their grandma too. Then they both, together with Mr. Jones, dashed out to meet up with his buddy, who promised to offer them a job even if it was just for Christmas. The buddy's shop is a holy moly donut shop. He introduced them to the neighborhood and also to their new job roles. He gave them their uniform and they got started with work. During the introduction, they cited Donna, the girlfriend of Money Mike, who owns the new store in town. They sell wares. Craig and Day Day were trying to beckon on her just to get her attention. She returned it with a lovely smile. They both got to know that the man usually maltreats the lady even as she helped in the store. They felt pity for her and have been longing to catch up with her. Day Day was too excited to get the job, and which led to him overreacting on duty. Doing what ought not to be. He was just been crazy about it all, especially with the alert whistle given to them. He blows it unnecessarily and made too much fun of it, which Craig was not been happy with and was finding it difficult to curb Day Day's excesses. Day Day attacked and abused some old women that were preaching the gospel by a store. He bumped at them and disrupted them. This action got them angry and they vowed to deal with them. The same did him to some ladies in their car. Craig could not just catch up with these shits of his. He angrily told him to work on his people's skill. He got into a low position of power and abused it. He saw some little kids having fun and disrupted them. They retired to a place to smoke as initiated by Craig. Mr. Elroy caught them by the trash can and joined in. Suddenly the so-called Santa Claus caught up with them with a fake gun. A carton kind of, and ended up stealing Uncle Elroy's golden wristwatch. They, Craig and Mr. Elroy, tried chasing after him, but he escaped while Day Day angrily walked into the buddies to show his displeasure of not being given a gun in the first instance. They reported the case to the police. While both of them were returning to their booth, Craig was spying on Donna and they got talking. Suddenly Day bumped into them. Donna had to leave them to argue as she walked into the store. It was at the moment of doing this did they discover two thieves, a man and his partner who disguised as a pregnant woman stealing their goods. The woman removed the bow she kept on her tummy and replaced it with lots of clothes. Good to note that Craig and Day were on site. They got into the store and caught them. What a wonderful time performing the role of security indeed. They locked them up in their booth and delivered them to the police. This gave them an edge in the store. The owner, Money Mike, loved them for the action and they got more access to the lady, Donna. Funny dudes. After the thieves have been delivered to the police and while the two niggas wanted to chill off, they saw the old woman with some thugs pointing in their direction. What? Another run for their dear lives. They ran so hard for their lives. They ran into Money Mike's store and she led them to an escape room. From there Craig saw an opening up the two and they traced it out to the roof and continued running for escape from their sight. The thugs successfully ran through where they passed through but did not catch them. They found their way to the security guy's shop. Mr. Jones' buddy resigned by pulling off their wares and ran off to their parents' shop, Bro's BBQ spot. They concealed their reason for doing so but joined in to meet and prepare for the night party that would be coming up soon. The thugs traced them to Buddy's shop but found them not. Angrily, they dealt with him and warned him, reminding him of how they dealt with the last set of security guys he recruited. With this pain and sore face, he went to Mr. Jones' shop to report the case but he got mocked by the two naughty guys instead. Meanwhile, Miss Pearly went on to raid the houses and got into Craig and Day's apartment and found out that they had some weed. In the process of stealing some from it, Chico gave her a bite from behind. So painful. What a reward for stealing. The feast was already on set and children already started checking in to see Santa Claus, Mr. Jones, and the playful bull, Mr. Elroy, in their amazing attire. But it didn't go well at all. They closed the shop at night in preparation for the feast but Craig was not just in the mood. When questioned by his dad, he said he wasn't in the spirit of po-fying. His mom encouraged him and told him that it is not about what you get but how you feel. So, he was too up. Wow, the part was cool in the house. Everyone was murring, variety of dishes and drinks were served. It was so cool. Pinky, Day's former boss, came along with some ladies. Money Mike came with Donna. Neighbors and customers around came and it was lit. Shockingly Damon came and he was warmly welcomed by Craig but his intention was different. While Donna's boyfriend went to the toilet, Damon sneaked in and was wanting to perform gay acts with him. But he was able to overcome him, which turned out to be a shame on Damon in the sight of everyone. While this was ongoing, Money Mike alerted Donna to get the car ready for his escape as he was about to let go of Damon. Oh no, it went wrong. At the release of Damon, Donna drove off leaving Money Mike to the mercy of Damon. So sad. Enjoying the drama being performed by them, Craig and Day sighted the Santa Claus loaded with stolen goods. Then they ran after him. That was the end of his stealing journey. While running after him, they ran into the old woman's house, into an old man's house who chased after them with a gun. Finally, they got into his apartment when he was thinking and jubilating about his escape. They tortured him, chased after him again and he ran into a car and passed out. While this was ongoing, Craig and Day packed as much as they could from his apartment and took off. They saw him on the road, woke him up, and hung him on the roof of his house. Another battle was won on a Frid.